Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a BMW E46 with a M52 B20 engine. So the problem with this car, guys, is it has a misfire as well as it's consuming a lot of coolant. So the owner told me that since they repaired the vehicle, he's been having to always top up the fluids, top up the coolant in the radiator, and he doesn't seem to see where it's leaking, but it's constantly needing to top up every now and then. So yeah, that's the issue that's with this car. So at the moment I was just looking around just to see what I can observe, but this engine was not in a good condition. So I also checked the coolant just to see if there's any coolant. So there was nothing inside. As you can see, it's just totally dry. So at this point the car stayed at my house overnight because the guy dropped it off there the day before. So this is in the morning where I was just checking all the fluids, checking all the coolant, just to see if everything is sitting correctly. So also check the oil cap as well, just to see if there's any signs of mixing. But at the moment I was thinking of actually just trying to start it and see how it runs. At the moment, as you can see, I'm trying to start it, but I was surprised that it didn't start the first kick, and the owner didn't inform me that the car has a hard start. So I was left on my own trying to figure this out. So I was trying to crank it non-stop, but I could tell that maybe it had a probably fuel starvation, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it was due to the misfire that he mentioned, that maybe that's what's causing the hard start. So yeah, I really struggled to get it to run. After a few attempts, it still wouldn't start. So but I just kept trying because it came here driving, so at some point I think it will run. That's what I told myself. So I just kept trying, but it wouldn't. But it got better with every attempt. So I just have to be patient and be positive that it will start. So let's just keep trying and see if it's gonna run. My foot is all the way down, popping sound from the intake, and it's also really shaky. So I'm guessing it does have that misfire. It also died there. So I'm gonna just try to get it to idle, because it was also idling low. So hopefully as it warms up, hopefully it will idle better. So yeah, from here I think I'm gonna try and test drive it and see if it's gonna overheat and how it performs and everything. But I can already feel that the lack of power might be due to the misfire, and the water consumption might be due to something else that we'll check later. So let's just quickly test drive it and see. After about 10 minutes of driving, the oil level light came on, the oil level indicator came on, and the temperature gauge just kept rising, and as well as the car didn't have power as well. So it was very hard to drive. It was pulling the gears for long, revving high, so it wasn't very comfortable. I parked it on the side, and when I got home, and then just waited to cool off so that I can check the coolant. And of course there was nothing inside, because before I left I did top it up. So after driving it and with the temperature going up, the coolant just disappeared. So I have a belief that the problem might be internal, because these engines also notorious for stripping cylinder head bolts. So I'm thinking that's something that I also want to check. But before that, we're gonna tackle the misfire so that we can see what's causing the misfire. We're gonna go ahead and remove the covers and then so we can access the ignition coils. So with the cover removed, we can now access the ignition coils. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a cylinder drop test. So I'm gonna pull each coil one by one just to see if there's any change in the sound of the engine. So maybe perhaps I can pinpoint where the misfire is coming from and maybe take further steps from there. So let's just do the drop test and see if we can find anything. As you could see from the test, I had two coils that were not working. So the client said he had extra coils in his car. So I'm gonna try those and see if maybe we can get the car running as well. So let's try that. So after the test, I think we needed two coils, but just to make sure, I put the coils, switched them, put them on number 1 and number 6, just to see if the misfire will follow the coils, which it did. So we're gonna need two coils there. Next up will be to check the issue with the coolant that's being constantly disappearing from the engine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the valve cover so that I can access the cylinder head bolts. And before I do anything, I'm just gonna try and see if the bolts are torqued to spec, because the car has been driving. So all I need to do is just to confirm if those bolts are not stripped, and if they're not stripped, then we'll look elsewhere. So let's quickly do that. With the valve cover removed, you can already see an issue. That oil baffle, I think, or is a splash guard, is missing from that cover, so which means that it will be throwing some oil back into the breather. So that's one problem that I also saw, but just inspecting it does look clean. So but I did run into a problem. I didn't have a socket that I could use to access the cylinder head bolts without removing the cams. So I'm gonna be forced to remove the cams because I'm a bit far from any shops. So I'm forced to actually remove the cams just so that I can access those bolts. I do believe that I am gonna remove the cylinder head either way, but I just wanted to make sure, so do it this way so that I can show you as well what's happening with the bolts. So I'm just gonna continue to strip, and then yeah, we'll see how the bolts will do when I pull them with the power bar. So off camera, I did try to turn the cylinder head bolts just 90 degrees because I was using a power bar. It's not the best method, but in my situation, it's the only way that I could use to test it out. So I found a couple of them that were really loose, that you could just pull and pull and pull, but like you couldn't feel any resistance. So as you can see over here now, I was trying to pull. This was the first one that I did, and it just turned without much torque onto the handle. The second one, this one was very hard, so I guess that's the good thread. So the next ones that I was going to do, they were a bit loose when I was tightening it. And then again, remember guys, this car was driving. This guy has been driving this car for close to a month after it was repaired. So he's been driving like this with close to 12 of the 14 bolts are stripped. So you can imagine it also overheated, so it tended to overheat when he was driving. So I'm hoping the cylinder head is not warped, because they did head work. They also did an engine overhaul, so they said they did the block as well, and it's an aluminum block. So a lot was going on here, so but we're gonna see. I just wanted to carry on and strip and remove the cylinder head. So at this point, the exhaust were loose. I loosened the exhaust manifold, so all I needed was to now remove the cylinder head bolts, and then so I can lift the head up, and then we can examine the block and see how it looks. So here are my findings, guys, and it doesn't look good, as you can see. Apparently inserts were fitted from the previous repair, which were not done. I don't know, like the quality is just poor. I don't know how to explain it, but the quality is just poor. Some of the inserts were fitted upside down. Some of the holes looked like they were probably a bit damaged as well. So it's gonna make it very difficult for the next guy to do inserts and get it properly done, you know, more especially if the hole is also damaged. So it's gonna be a challenge for the next guy to do the inserts. So this is what I found ultimately, the cause for the losing of coolant and the reason why his pipes were always getting full and just become bulgy after a long drive. And now, yeah, this is what I find. And the problem now is he already spent a lot of money from the previous guy trying to sort out the overheating issue, which was due to the inserts. And now a month later he's still sitting with the same problem with the damaged inserts. So I don't know moving forward if this block will be salvageable from the person who's gonna do the inserts, because, you know, they also complain about some of the blocks that are too damaged to even accept new inserts. And yeah, ultimately they end up just stripping again. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do with this one, but this is where my diagnosis ends. And yeah, we found the problem of the misfire, and we found the problem with the overheating. So the next step will be to advise the owner on what to do moving forward. So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for all the comments and the likes. I do appreciate it. And if you do like my videos, please like and subscribe. Click on the notification bell. And thank you for watching.